There is more to me, Queen Eliara of Elfgard, than my elven magic. Just as there's more to Geico than saving you money, Geico also gives you 24/7 access to licensed agents online, on the phone, or on the Geico app. And while I am a mighty elf queen, I am also a mighty big fan of barbecue potato chips. Minions! More smoky mesquite.
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
You're tuning in to the Goldilocks presentation of the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show with Anthony Rodriguez. Anthony Rodriguez, aka Walking Crow, found transformational energy healing through a personal search into healing and was transformed by this experience. He made the decision to pursue training and has since become a certified energy healing practitioner with an emphasis on working with clients in recovery from addiction. His willingness to be open and listen has allowed him to be of service to many who seek a peaceful, serene, and healthier body, mind, and spirit. Call in now if you would like to speak with Anthony. The call-in number is 713-955-0332. Enjoy this transformational and healing show.
Well, good afternoon, and welcome to another Tuesday edition of the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show. My name is Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow, and I'm your host. And I'd like to welcome back all my listeners, not my listeners, the listeners, and the new listeners, and new and old, and welcome back. And I hope everybody had a great week. I've missed you. I always miss you. And boy, I'm excited. I hope everybody's buckled in, has their seatbelts on for this full moon energy and this eclipse energy. And boy, it's just an amazing time. The Lion's Gate is open, and we're all ready to roar. What an amazing, amazing time for manifestation and change, for manifestation and want, for manifestation and letting go and manifesting a life that hasn't been lived yet, a life that's magnificent, a life that's pure, and exactly what you want. A whole welcome to this magnificent Tuesday. Welcome to the Lion's Gate opening, and welcome to the portal that you've been waiting for, maybe even for a lifetime. Welcome to the show. And today's subject, we're going to be talking about recovery, and when recovery from alcohol, drugs, and other overwhelming behaviors and addictions isn't enough. What is it you seek? And this is an amazing time to be having this conversation, because I personally, I am around a lot of people in recovery, and I see a lot of behaviors, and I've experienced those behaviors as a recovering person. I've had to let go of those behaviors. I hope I don't exhibit any of the ones that I get to exhibit, that I get to see happening. But it's being in a sober body, sober mind, sober soul, clean, whatever you want to call it, recovered. We have recovered from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body, and I like to say I have transformed from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body. And I've come a long way to change my life. And my life didn't just change because, one day I decided to stop drinking and maybe go to a meeting and, I was transformed. No. I was arrested after 20 years of what I describe as maybe chaos. And, and I went before the judge, and the judge sentenced me to 26 meetings of AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, and here I am, almost 26 years later, and I'm sober. And thank you, Judge Michael Knight of Division 101 Muni Court in Van Nuys, California. And I don't know if Judge Michael Knight is still alive anymore. I probably doubt it, because he was probably in his 50s and 60s at the time. But I sent him a letter 5 years into my sobriety to thank him, and I don't know if he ever got it. Doesn't matter if he ever got it. I know that I wrote it. I know that I meant it. And I'm grateful. So, what is it you seek once you do come into recovery and start to walk your walk in recovery? What is it that you want to let go of? Because I watch the same old behaviors happen in sobriety that you would see in the using and drinking of an unsober life and a sober life. So I feel, and it's my experience, that the 12 steps of those anonymouses are not enough. I feel that a deeper personal search is at hand and is necessary. And if you truly want to recover from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body and transform from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body, and the key word is seemingly, it's time to dig deeper. Not paralysis through analysis, but analysis to a degree that you're able to recognize some things, do something about them, and move on. Aho, hence, what is it you seek? Aho. So I'm going to make a few quick announcements, and then we'll move on from here. So if you want to call in, you can dial in at 713-955-0332. You can ask a question. We can talk about the subject at hand. You can, we can do a reading, or you can tell me where you're at right now. But if you're out there listening, just press 1 and to get out of listen mode, and my producer will know that you want to talk to me. So once again, 713-955-0332. Push 1 to get out of listen mode. All right. So I've got a big calendar, a lot of stuff going on, and I am busy manifesting. I'm busy making change. I'm busy helping people heal. I'm healing myself. I'm coming to the closure of something that's been in my life for the last 4 years, and it's closing out on August 14th in exactly a week. And I get to say goodbye totally to that, I hope, and keep manifesting through one of the biggest blocks in my life. And I also want to say thank you to that particular thing that it came into my life because it allowed me to see what it was that I really, really wanted to do. And being on the air as Anthony Rodriguez Walking Crow on the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show is something that I really, really want to do, and something that we have manifested over almost a year now. I think it's almost a year that I've been on the air, and I'm really grateful and thankful for that. So this Saturday, I'm going to be back in the desert in Palm Desert, California, at Venus de Fido, and I'm going to be doing the root first chakra, what it means to be rooted and fruited, what it means to be grounded, what it means to be in your foundation, what it means to be right here, right now, and present. You know, a lot of people teach and think that being grounded is just about maybe just your well-being and your home and your job and your security and your safety. It's not just about those things. It's about how you weather the storm. It's about how you stand in the storm. Do you get knocked down by the four winds, or do you stand through the four winds as a well-rooted tree, as a strengthened tree with deep roots? I hope. So we'll be out there at 12 to 2 p.m. in Palm Desert. It's $25. If you have any questions, you can give Venus de Fido a call to register for that at 760-834-7040. And that address is 73600 Alessandro Drive, Palm Desert, California, 92260. I can't wait to have you guys come out, and that's going to be a great day of teaching people how to ground. And then next Tuesday, Tuesday the 15th, August the 15th, Men in Self-Care has started up again. It's become a bilingual group, and it's merged with another organization called ACTO, and this organization is a nonprofit, and we meet every other Tuesday at 7 o'clock to 8:30 in Pasadena at 236 West Mountain Street in suite number 115 in Pasadena, California, 91103. Come out and see us on August 15th and share. Open your heart, open your voice, open your soul, open your mind, and start using that voice that you were meant to use. I hope. And one more time, this side of consciousness with Anthony Rodriguez Walking Crow is going to be taking place again at Venus de Fido in Palm Desert. That's going to be at 12 noon to 3 on the Saturday, August 26th. come out and learn about consciousness and what consciousness is for you, what consciousness isn't for you, and what it could be for you. I hope that's on the 26th of August. And then again, I'm going to be doing that same event, this side of consciousness, in National City, in the suburb of San Diego, California, on the 10th of September at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's a Sunday in September, and stay tuned for more information on that, because that's on my calendar, but it's not confirmed totally, so be prepared for that. So welcome to the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show. Once again, I'm going to say it. My name is Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow, and I'm really glad you came. And we're going to be talking about recovery, and recovery from drugs and alcohol and the other overwhelming behaviors and addictions, what it is that isn't enough, and what good is it you seek. And I've sought out many things, and I didn't know what recovery from alcohol and drugs was going to be for me. I just thought that I would go to some meetings, get my court card signed, and that would be it. That would be it. And then I'd go on my way, and the courts would leave me alone. Well, strangely enough, I get sentenced to 26 meetings of Alcoholics Anonymous. I have to get a court card signed. I show up day 27, and at day 27, my life changes. And it changes because I no longer have to be in the meetings of Alcoholics Anonymous, but I choose to be there because to that point, my life has changed significantly, and it's only been about 30 days, maybe less. My life has changed, so that is my sobriety date, January 26th, and I stepped into day 27. I didn't have to be there. So I was seeking something, but I didn't know what it was that I was looking for. I wanted a different life. I wanted a better life. I wanted a sober life. I wanted to be able to make decisions that were good decisions. I wanted to be able to have a house and property and prestige and things. And let me tell you something. Just because your life changes and you get sober or recover, you find recovery in whatever anonymous that you find, doesn't mean that you're going to get those things. Because it's been a lifetime, honestly, for me, the last 25 years of working and getting laid off and working and getting laid off and working and getting laid off and losing a job and finding a job and getting laid off and 3 marriages and just a whole lot of transition and change and shifting, however it looked like in my life. And it hasn't been a whole lot of fun, but I've been sober. I've been consistent. I haven't had to have a drink. I haven't had to have a pill. I haven't had to have a pot. I haven't had to put a needle in my arm or cocaine up my nose or anything like that. I no longer stuff with food. I no longer sit in front of whatever NN on television or on computer watching the devastations of lives and the destruction that our governments and other entities plan around the world and do around the world. I don't get sucked in by that nonsense. My job as a sober human being is to be exactly where I am right here, right now, and heal this part of my world, where Anthony Rodriguez is healed, and starting with myself, healing my soul, healing my outlook, and healing my intake. How I take things into my body, how I take things into my mind, how I take things into my soul is of the utmost importance, because then it tells me what my output is going to be. And I always say this, and I say it probably on just about every show, if I gave you a glass or a bottle that said poison on it, would you drink it? I will no longer, and I refuse to any longer drink the poison that I serve myself, that you serve me. I do not have to do that to myself. And I'm going to tell you right here, right now, you no longer have to do that to yourself either. You can be free. I was quoted in a book that was written to me in my celebrating my first year of sobriety, and it was this: freedom is not having to prove anything to anybody. I don't know who wrote that, but my then sponsor and now sponsor wrote that in the book for me, and I remember that. But I also say this: freedom is not having to prove anything to anybody. Anybody! Exclamation point. because there's a lot of people in the rooms of recovery and in rooms of anonymouses that spend a lot of time trying to outdo each other, outprove each other, out-sober each other, out-drink each other, all that nonsense, out-bottom each other. Who cares? Nobody really cares. What's most important is you have stayed stopped and stopped giving yourself physical poison, spirits in, spirit out, sticking a needle in your arm, whatever the case may be. You've stopped doing that, and you've taken the first steps, right foot, moving forward, the divine masculine, the first step to move forward into your sobriety, and received it with your left foot, divine feminine, the side of receiving. You have given it and received it, given it to yourself and received it, given it to yourself and received it over and over and over again. Why would you give yourself anything less? Now, in my early days, I didn't know what, people would say, well, I don't believe in religion. I believe in spirituality. I'm a spirituality. I used to parrot that, and there's a lot of people who parrot that, and they don't know what that means. Because if you talk to them, you find out how spiritual they're not. They're obsessed and they're consumed with self. They're obsessed and they're consumed with how they look in front of other people. They're obsessed and consumed with their control issues, and what they don't realize, and the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous told me, lack of power was my dilemma. Lack of power is my dilemma. And if that's true for me, I hope that's true for you. And when are you going to read that part of the big book and understand what exactly that means? I am powerless over people, places, and things. Just because something happens doesn't mean it had anything to do with me. I hope. I am not that all-powerful. I'd like to be. I'm just not. But I'm okay not being that powerful. I hope. So what is it you seek? What is it you want? What is it you want to give to yourself that you're able to give to yourself in recovery? Because I watch a lot of people running around, and I see it. I'm on social media a lot because I use social media for marketing. And I do a lot of postings on social media. I post a lot of videos for what I do as an energy healer and a medicine man. I post a lot because of my events and the events that I do with others. And I read a lot of Chicken Little out there by well-meaning sober people, and I just kind of send them a little message that says, come see me. Come see me, because they need to see something. They need to see someone. They need to get some help outside of Alcoholics Anonymous. And I did that. I sought help outside of the Anonymous. I went. I sought the knowledge of an elder. This guy was sober about 44 years at the time, named Kenny, and I told him that I wanted to do something about my anger, and he said, "Well, go to anger management." And so I did that. I went to a 12-week program of anger management for 3 years. And people will say, "Why were you there for 3 years?" Because it works. If it works, I'm gonna milk that sucker as much as I can and learn as much as I can about me and how I can change me and be a different me, a me that I was always meant to be. I hope, And it took me a long time to deal with that anger, and I still deal with that anger, but I deal with the anger. Other people don't have to deal with my anger, and you can ask my ex-wife that. One day she said to me, "If I have to grow a thick skin to be with you, I don't want to be with you." Well, there's a couple of ways you can look at that, and one of the ways I looked at that is that told me that she didn't want to work on the relationship, because a relationship ebbs and flows, and it's a roller coaster of ups and downs and turns and arounds and starts and stops, and it does different things, and I have no control over things that happen sometimes in a relationship, but I do have control on how I choose to be in it, how I choose to react. I hope. So when she said that, I realized that I wasn't going to be married very long, because I'm unhuman, a high human. I'm willing to take responsibility for my humanness, but other people have to too, I think. And if they don't want to, I understand that, and I'm not going to force anybody to do anything they don't want to do. So thank you for coming to my party. I'm grateful for coming to your party. I'm grateful that we met, and thank you for that lesson. I will move on in my life, and I will become who Anthony was always meant to be. And if you're my partner at any given time in my life, I'm going to thank you and say, aho, aloha, thank you, mahalo, thank you, thank you. I'm going to honor you as much as I can, even if I don't know how to honor you. Even if I don't know how to honor you, I'm going to figure that out. And it's not always easy, because we don't always find the way, we don't always find the words, we don't always find the will. Aho. Anyway, so, sobriety is not an easy thing. In fact, I have clients who are, in sobriety, and or they're trying to be, and I don't think they know how to be yet in sobriety, some of them, and that's okay. It's a learned experience, and it's an experience. You don't learn it overnight, and you don't learn it by going in and out, in and out, in and out. You learn it by staying stopped, being stopped, and taking responsibility for your stopping of your using and drinking and whatever it is that you're doing, and your blaming and all that stuff. You take responsibility for it, and you stay stopped, and you become consistent about something more in your life. I hope consistency is important to me. I've gotten this far with regards to my practice because I've been consistent with my change in my life, with my shamanic work, with my medicine. I've come this far because I've been consistent in the willingness to do whatever it is necessary to do that. And in my sobriety, I've done that in my sobriety too. I show up. I don't just show up for myself. I show up for other people. I hope. Because I can't give away what I haven't got. And if I'm not working with somebody to stay sober, because working with others is very important in sobriety, I'm not going to have anything. I'm not going to have any sobriety. I'm going to be out there drinking and hiding, bobbing and weaving and shucking and jiving and all that stuff. Anyway, so 713-955-0332 is the calling number. Please call in and let us know what you have to say. Let me know what you think about this subject, what your opinion is, because your opinion is valuable to me. Even though you don't know that, I want you to know that your opinion is valuable. If you want to ask questions about something else, feel free to call in. If you want to get a healing, like I said, feel free to call in. 713-955-0332. Push 1 to get out of listen mode. And let's talk. So, recovery. What is it you seek? I realized that a long time ago that recovery wasn't enough. And I go to meetings, and I've been working in the holistic world for 5 or 6 years, I think. Maybe going on 7, I don't know. And it changed my sobriety, and it changed my life. It took me in another direction. There's people. I'll see people sitting and I have to use these people. I use these people as examples because it's what I see. It's what I experience. I see them in meetings, and they're running to meetings because I have to go to a meeting, and they look like a deer in a headlight with their eyes bugged out, and they haven't taken a bath, and they haven't showered, and they still look like hobos, and they say, I had to run to a meeting because I'm crazy. Well, you know what? If you're 23 years and crazy in Alcoholics Anonymous, you need to go have a drink. You need to go relax. Maybe I'm the person that needs to buy you a drink. I'll buy you a drink if you're that screwed up in your sobriety that you can't be comfortable in your own skin. And it's easy to become comfortable in your own skin without drinking, without alcohol, without drugs, without pot, without eating a pot-laced cookie or what have you. It's easy to become comfortable in your skin when you let go of your craziness and your lack of power, your control issues. Your control issues. Because it says in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, probably in the big book of Narcotics Anonymous, MA and CA and all those others, lack of power is our dilemma. We 100 people have recovered from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body. I hope. Those are big sentences. Those are big words. And how do you step into those shoes? Those are big shoes to step into. But you don't have to step into those shoes all at one time. You step into them slowly. You step into them one step at a time. I hope. They're the steps. Step 1. I am powerless over alcohol. and my life has become unmanageable. There's a lot of people that refuse to take responsibility for the unmanageability of their life, and I've had to take responsibility for it. You know, I was laid off from my job 2.5 years ago, and you know, that was really the cause of my demise of my marriage, and that's okay. I'm good with that. I'm sorry that you know, some people aren't, but you know, I just got tired of being laid off every 6 months, every year, every couple of years. I really got tired of it. You know, have I sacrificed? Have I struggled for that? Yes, I've struggled for that. And unfortunately, there have been other people who have been part of that struggle, and I'm sorry for that. But I just couldn't go back, and I can't go back to that. I can't keep giving myself poison. I can't keep giving myself something that isn't working. And working with others and being a healer and being in this medicine and carrying a message, as far as I'm concerned, is far more superior of a job and a calling than others. I'm a man without a conventional life. I'm a man with an unconventional life, and I'm okay with that because I know what I know. I know that Creator Great Spirit is, and I know that Creator Great Spirit has my back, and I know that other people around me have my back. Oh, so we're going to go to the phones. We have a caller from the 814. Hello, caller from the 814. How are you today? Who am I speaking?
Hello, this is Greg from Pennsylvania.
Hey, Greg from Pennsylvania. How are you today? Happy Tuesday.
I'm doing good. Just as you're giving your testimony, I'm taking some notes and writing down some of my issues on my whiteboard, trying to connect the dots. So
yeah,
it's been but
can
I get the name of that book first?
Say that again.
I wanted to get the name of that book first you were talking about.
The Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous?
Okay, okay. I just wanted to write that down. Okay, thanks. Yeah, what I was dealing with lately was, it just seems I've been writing down some things. It's like maybe some things I never noticed before, but because they all kind of stacked up in recent years. I know, like, I'm dealing with a lot of like a middle back pain that it feels like I'm capable. I know deep down I'm capable of working it out, doing all the stretches, but you know, sometimes it'll get inflamed, and you know, that'll take care of that. You know, that's an issue. And combining that with, I have a lot of issues with, I live close to my dad, and only recently in the last, several years, he returned from, he used to work away a lot, so and it's just like old things come up from even when I was a kid, because he loves to get involved in what I'm doing, like around the house projects. Yep. But he always created problems when I was a kid. I just constantly angry, you know, all that kind of stuff. And it's to the point where, yeah, it's to the point where, oh, very, very. It was like I was allowed there pretty much to sit and hand him tools, but not actually build or do anything while I got screamed at, you know.
And he was like, critical of you.
Oh, very, yeah. You know, and it was just a bad environment. But the thing is, though, it just created this problem I see now where I have a whole bunch of stuff that I enjoy doing. I do a lot of spiritual work. And, you know, one of the areas I wanted to get a website up and running. They're just multiple projects that if you were confident, if you were aware, not fatigued, you should be able to just hammer them out and enjoy it one day at a time and have plenty of time left over. But it just seems like the procrastination and the fear are just wearing it down. And although, you know, and I have a lot of stuff planned out, it shouldn't take me forever to do things. These things are pretty much I guess, done by themselves in a way. It's just they can't seem to
can
execute.
Can I have your permission to read you?
Sure, that'd be great.
All right. So you said your middle back, you have pain in your middle back and it gets inflamed, right? Understand that.
Yeah, it's like a curvature.
Okay, your middle back is your third chakra, your fire, your fuego. I can, I will, I do, I am. That's your esteem. That's where your self-esteem lives. If you have self-esteem, I hope, right? So, taking a beating from somebody who doesn't. Yeah, taking a beating from somebody who doesn't support you, who will never put their hand on your back and say, "I'm here for you, son," or "I'm here for you, friend," or "I'm here for you, brother," or "I'm here for you, cousin," or uncle, or whatever the case may be. After a while, we get so beaten down from people who are critical and people who are angry, we start to shrink. And we will create projects, and we'll take on multiple projects, and we won't finish anything. Because we're not able to stand in our foundation of who we are. We're not able to connect from our fire to our earth through the water. I hope you understand what I'm saying. I'm talking about the chakras. So
yes.
Saying that, I'm sorry that I'm going to tell you that I'm sorry that you had to experience that growing up, because that's not fair to you. It's not fair to anybody to be belittled and to be shamed and broken down that way. People who don't have any esteem, self-esteem, do try to take other people's esteem away, and they do that, and sometimes they do a very good job of it. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying they're very talented at what they do, and it's shameful. I'm not going to shame your father. Your father's probably a wounded soul. Obviously, he is, and there's nothing we can do about that for him, but we can help you. So knowing that you have that issue in your back and you're not supported, it's a backside, the B side of the third chakra. It's support. I'm going to tell you right here, right now, because you reached out to me today, and you know my name, Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow. I'm going to tell you from this point forward, you will be supported if you've never felt supported before, and if you ever want to feel supported and need an answer for something and encouragement, you call my name and I will come. I will give you my phone number and my email address before we get off the phone, and I will always support you and give you encouragement and support in what it is you want to do. Because I did the same thing. I was always belittled. I was always called all kinds of things, and I was never encouraged to do something grand or great. Get a job, get a job, get a job, get a job, get a job. That's all anybody ever said.
That's him.
No one ever said go to school and make a life, make something incredible, become somebody, become something, stand out. I was always the odd kid, and I realize now, after years of just suffering through my own lack of self-esteem, lack of self-worth, that I am a powerful human being. I carry a voice. I carry a message. I vibrate across the country and across the world, not just on Blog Talk Radio, but on YouTube and on Facebook and on LinkedIn and any other medium that I can get my hands on. I'm vibrating. And when I was told as a child to be quiet, shut up, go outside, I thank those people now. Because they told me to be quiet and shut up, and then I was hyperactive, I say thank you. Because they're the reason that I do what I do, and they're the reason that I get to talk to you today, my friend. I hope. So understand energetically that a lot of that pain, that back pain, is you're stuck emotionally in the third chakra. And what I'm going to ask you to do right now, I'm going to ask you to put your feet on the floor and put your hands on your thighs. And I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, and I'm going to ask you to draw a breath in. And when I tell you to take a deep breath, I want you to see it go into your lungs, your heart, air. I love, I'm loved, your fourth chakra, and allow it to pass through that place. And I want you to allow it to pass right through, past that place of loving, that loving place, and allow it to flow through to your third chakra, to that fire, to that place where you're going to place oxygen to allow that fire to burn brighter, to burn bigger. And it's going to burn bigger, and it's going to start to boil the water of your second chakra. And that water is going to get hot, and it's going to boil, and it's going to overflow into your root chakra, and it's going to water your root chakra. And your root is going to start to grow, and you're going to start to develop a better and a stronger and a deeper foundation of who and what you are. And as that starts to happen, that water is boiling because you're taking in that breath. That water, that steam, that holy vapor is going to start to rise, and it's going to rise to your esteem. Holy vapor, it's your esteem, and it's going to rise to your heart. It's going to warm your heart, and it's going to rise to your fifth chakra and clear, and you're going to be able to start talking about those things that hurt you and wounded you, and let them go and write them down and burn them and give them to your creator great spirit if you believe in that sort of thing. If you believe in a higher source, a higher universe, a higher realm, my friend, give those things to that place. And now is the best time because of that beautiful full moon that's happening right now with the eclipse. Please, write those things, let it go. But we're going to start with breath. So I want you to put your feet flat on the floor and close your eyes. And, and pay attention to what happens when you take the breath in. See what happens in the back of your screen of your eyes if something happens. And what you tell me, you can tell us what you see after you take the breath, but I'm going to have you take the breath 3 times, all right? When you're ready, I'm going to tell you when to take the breath, and you just go ahead and take it with me. I'll take it with you really deep. All right, go ahead. And exhale. And go ahead and take that breath in again and stoke that fire. A loving breath that passes through your heart space. And exhale. And one more time, inhale and take it in. And exhale. Do you mind if I say something to you?
Go ahead.
Right now, when I took that last breath, I saw a lot of sadness. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a long time, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's ongoing.
It's ongoing.
But, I have a vision for my life that's pushed me on. So, I don't get suicidal thoughts that a lot of people get and things like that because, I'm persistent and I know my purpose.
Yes. That is awesome. That is awesome. So tell me what that was like for you to take those breaths to that place in your body, to give yourself that oxygen, to burn that fire, burn that fuel.
I had more of a sense of light, and I was visualizing that boiling water.
I hope.
Just, as a reminder, that was one of the main points, just watching that second chakra water boiling.
Yeah.
And
sometimes Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I think, though, sometimes, those are blocks. But at the same time, though, I can say that whenever I'm around, have access to positive people, like this show, like right now, usually I can hold the momentum a little better. So I know for me, one of the messages a reoccurring messages I would wake up with is that a lot of the blockages, all I had to do was be happy and they'd be gone. So, and, fellowshipping with spiritual people makes me happy. And that's probably been one of the issues. And that's why, even if I'm feeling good or whatever, I should make that commitment to work on, a website, social media every day, just so I have something already prepared to share. To help gather that momentum. So.
There are days that I get home. Sometimes it's late at night. I've been out all day working and doing whatever it is that I'm doing, and I know that I have to do work on my website. I have to put my events and that sort of thing. And I spend another 2 or 3 hours, and I'm up to the wee hours, and I'm like, I get fired up in the middle of doing that, because what I'm doing is I'm self-created. Without the help of I had help. I didn't have the encouragement that I would like to have had. But because I didn't have that encouragement, I encouraged myself, and I seek out people who are lights in my life, who are encouraging, who are positive lights, and and accepting and loving, and they're great spirits to have around, and I try to surround myself with those kinds of people, and it's not always easy because, people are people. They're human. Hi, human. I always say, hi, human,
Yeah. I mean, it helps to balance it out. I like to have more positive people than negative people. Makes it easier to let go of things. So.
Absolutely. So I would, if you can, I want you to write down my email address, Anthony@sacreddrummedicine.com.
Okay.
And I want you to feel free to use that email anytime you want. And what I'll do is, you send me an email and I'll give you a call. Just, send your number on that, and I'll give you a call back, and we'll talk a little bit. We'll spend some time to talk. And like I said, from this point forward, because you decided to, right side is moving forward. Right side is divine masculine. You decided to take a step forward and give your left side, the divine feminine, the divine receiving something, you will never have to be unsupported again, period, and never feel that way. Now, that's not saying that that's not going to happen, because, some people don't change. They're not going to change. But the way we react to them changes, and I love being able to live that way and feel that way and say that possible and true.
Great.
Yeah, I love being able to have that knowledge and share that with people. Because there are people who just, they don't know how to get out from under, the sum of, I've always say this as well. Well-meaning people who say they love us, who love us, supposedly, they brought us into the world. Well-meaning people dangle a carrot of spoken and unspoken expectation in front of us, and sadly, they're the ones who pull it away, and we end up chasing it sometimes for a lifetime. And if we're lucky, I think that I think you're blessed that you see it and you don't have to chase that. You know where to go. You know where to get it, my friend.
Yeah. I mean, you have a lot of people fantasizing that they're that little kid in the Christmas Story. I don't know if you ever watched that movie.
Yeah.
His mom washed his mouth out with soap, and then he dreamed that he got blind from soap poisoning. And then they all had compassion on him. That's been coming up lately over the last week. I just been remembering that. So, but thank you. Thanks for everything. Bless you.
Yeah, thank you for calling in, and feel free to call in anytime. Let me know how you're doing, and send me an email. I'd like to know how you're doing, and if you want to talk, like I said, I'll call you right back. When I get it, I'll call you back as soon as I see it, and we'll talk. Alrighty.
Yep,
you have a blessed day, and thank you for calling. All righty, thank you. Well, all right. What a just an absolute gorgeous day today. A day of manifestation, a day of change. And I'm glad to have somebody call in and share their experience and share their hope. And that's one of the things that a lot of people don't share hope. They'll share their poison. They'll share their toxicity. But somebody chooses to call in and share his hope. And that's an amazing thing. That's what I want to share. I want to share hope. I am hopeful today. I am not hopeless. Sometimes I'm helpless, but I'm not hopeless. And this was another case today of this phone call where somebody is sometimes helpless, but not hopeless. And I love that. And that's the medicine. That's the sharing. That's the rub. One person talking to another. And that's how it is in the Anonymous. Whether it's Alcoholics Anonymous or whether it's NA or whatever it is, we share one person talking to another. And I get excited with that. Wow. Wow. Thank you for calling in from the 814. That was beautiful. Man, you know what? That set my day. That set the tone for we could probably end the show right now. Hi, Tiffany. I'm kidding. 713-955-0332. Give us a call. Let us know where you're at. Let us know if you have any questions. Let us know where your esteem lies. And do you know if you have self-esteem issues? Are you trying to live up to something that you don't know what you're trying to live up to? Are you trying to, have you been belittled? Have you been broken down so much that you don't know how to move forward? Do you feel stuck? Have you been stuck eternally? What is it that you want for yourself? How do you want to move forward? Remember that those people who do those things to us are wounded as well. They're sick. They'll sometimes never admit to it, but they are sick and they are wounded, just like we have been by those situations at home. And sometimes this goes on through lifetimes, through generations and generations of families until the cycle is broken. When will you break the cycle? When will you end the cycle? When will you end that consistency of giving a poison and step into a place of your power, of your root, of your foundation, aho? Be a tree that's rooted and fruited, aho. And the fruit of your tree and the branches of your tree extend into the heavens, and the birds of the air nest in your branches and eat of your fruit. And what is your fruit? Your fruit is the experience that you share of how you got from point A to point B. Oh, man, that is the best fruit I can eat. Sharing of other people's experience. I'm going to live off of that phone call today. Today, that was a blessing. Everything is a blessing because I don't have to live that way anymore. Nobody does. And when you step into the power of how you don't have to live anymore, of what you have to accept from others, it changes everything. You become empowered. I become empowered in a way that's amazing. I start to sleep good at night. I don't have insomnia. I don't have to overeat. I don't have to get bugged out by television or whatever faux news is on that the governments around the world are creating or whatever is going on out there. I get to give myself good, nutritious living, beautiful living, a different way of being, a different way of caring. I always offer myself. I gave this young man my email address, and that's important because there's people who I meet, people in my workshops. I always say to them when I said to him, if you're ever in a place where you don't feel supported, I want you to call my name and I will come. I will come because that is the magic. That is the shape-shifting. That is the healing energies of Crow, aho, alchemy, aho, shape-shifting, aho, magic. And the magic is I show up and if you reach out to me, I will call you back. I will sit with you. I will be with you. I will be the support that you've never had, and I will stand behind you. I will stand next to you, and I will stand in front of you and pull you forward if that's what you need at that given time. Aho, Mitakia. Aho. What is it you seek in your recovery? Do you actually seek something in recovery? Because I see you out there. I see you hiding out in those meetings. I see you sucking down that nicotine, which is a drug as well. And caffeine, nicotine and caffeine, all the ends. And I'm not judging. I'm being observant. I'm being observant and watching people. And people who are stepping into a meeting and suck down the last quarter of their cigarette, like it's going out of style, like they're about to be taken to the gas chamber. That's not. Sorry, that's not sobriety. That's not how sobriety behaves. Because that's how you used to put a needle in your arm. That's how you used to take that shot, that last drink. Blowing through alcohol, blowing through pot, blowing through food. Aho. What is it? What is it that you want to give yourself really? What do you want to give yourself really? My name is Anthony Rodriguez, and I am an alcoholic. Aho. I am a sober alcoholic. Aho. I have recovered from the seemingly hopeless state of mind and body. Aho. Aho. I am powerless over people, places, and things. Aho. I have transformed. I have transcended. I have transitioned. And I have transmuted. Not just my life, but I have helped people do the same for their lives. Aho. Aho. My name is Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow, and you're listening to the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show. And this show just didn't appear because one day we decided to do a show. This show came from a lifetime of hurt, a lifetime of wounds, a lifetime of suffering, a lifetime of sacrifice, a lifetime of shame. Oh, that I no longer have to live. Those things empowered me to become who and what I am right here, right now. What do you want for yourself? Aho. What do you want for yourself? Aho. I'll ask you again. What do you want for yourself? What is it you seek in your recovery? And what are you recovering from? What are you recovering from? 713-955-0332. Call in. Push 1 to get out of listen mode and say hello. Tell me where you're at. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you would like to share. Oh. And what would you like to share? It's taken me a long time to get from point A to point B. But because I was willing to take the steps necessary to get from point A to point B, I get to talk to you every Tuesday for an hour. I get to stand with you. I get to be with you. You get to be with me. I get to stand in the root of who and what Anthony Rodriguez is. Oh, yeah. Who and what I am. Who are you? What are you? What do you want to become? What is it you seek? And what would you like to give yourself today that is different from what you've been giving yourself for a lifetime? Not just a lifetime of your life, but a lifetime of your sobriety and your recovery if you actually are in recovery. What is it you want to give yourself? What are the poisons that you want to stop giving yourself? Do you want to stop giving yourself the poisons of blame? Playing dodgeball gets tiring. Avoiding responsibility for self and blaming other people. Do you want to learn how to love others? Well, to love others, you need to learn how to love yourself. You need to learn how to be with yourself. You need to learn how to walk on your own, walk tall. And stop talking about or let go of the things that you didn't get from those well-meaning people because they're not going to get them from those people. You can get to them, but you're going to have to give them to yourself. I had to do that. I had to do a soul retrieval, and I realized that I had my soul, my child, was living in a tree out of shame. I was living in a tree out of shame. Now I am the tree. I am the tree, and I am rooted, and I am fruited, and I am all powerful, and I can stand through any storm, even shame. You can't shame me anymore. They can't damage me in that way anymore. I have recovered from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body, and I thank you. I thank you for showing me how to do that. And I didn't intend when I started getting my training as a healer that this is what was going to happen for me or happen to me. No. Don't be mistaken. I had no idea where this was going to take me. I had no idea the kind of person I was going to become. And the kind of person that I've become is a person that Creator Great Spirit allowed me to be lifetimes ago. Where did I get lost? Where did I turn? Where did I go wrong? I didn't go wrong. I didn't get lost. I just took a different route. And there were some things that I had to learn. And there's some things that I had to learn that I won't have to come back in another lifetime to learn again because I've been there, done that. It's time to move on. That mommy and daddy issue that I carried for 50 years is done and taken care of. The alcoholism, sobriety, that is taken care of. The low self-esteem, that is taken care of. I no longer have to do that. I no longer have to redo that. I get to walk tall and move on to the other issues that I'm going to have to move forward with. What is it that's dogging you? What is it in your life that you want to change? And can you change it? What is it you seek? What is it that you seek in your recovery, in your sobriety, in your new way of being? And do you have a new way of being? Or are you just a dry drunk and you've stopped drinking and using and you're doing the same things over and over again, expecting a different result? You know what they call that? They call that, and sorry to burst your bubble, they call that insanity. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Well, change what you're doing. Change what you're saying. Change how you're being. Create change in your life and be the change in your life that you would like to see. You be the change in your life that you would like to see. Don't wait for somebody else to change your life. Don't wait for Mrs. Right to come into your life and say, hey, here I am. I can love you till you learn how to love yourself. No. You're going to have to learn how to love yourself before you love that person. Don't wait for somebody to come in because, you hear all the love songs, all those love songs about, oh, baby, I can't live without you. And I can't be without you. And I don't want to be without you. Well, you know what? I can and I will and I do. I am. I can be without you. I don't have to have you. I don't have to have your problem, my problems, and your problems too. I want to give myself something good. So I'm going to love me the best that I can. I'm going to go to Sweat Lodge. I'm going to go to meetings. And I'm going to spread the word. And I'm going to show up and do live Facebook videos. And I'm going to post my stuff on YouTube. And I'm going to show up to other people's events. And I'm going to create events so other people can come and find healing and find my events so they can go out and create their own events, because it's just a cycle. It's a cycle of ebb and flow. What is it that I'm willing to give myself? What is it are you willing to give yourself? Not everything has to be a constant cycle of hitting yourself over the head with a baseball bat and getting the same result. Pain, deep wounded pain, deep shame, deep hurt, deep brokenness. It doesn't have to be that way. We can change it. Be the change that you want in your life. Be the change that you want in your life. Be the loving light, like this young man who just called in. He's a light. He's out there doing it. And it takes him a little longer to get things done. So what? But with encouragement, I know that he'll be putting together his website because I put together mine. And I'm almost ready to launch that, by the way. I have a temporary website, which you can go to and check out exactly what I do at sacreddrum24.weebly.com. That's a temporary site because my real site is that's not true, www.sacreddrummedicine.com once that's launched. It's going to be beautiful. But you can find all the information on my present site, even though it's a temporary site. And it'll get done when it gets done because, I'm only one person. Anyways, we're coming to the close of the show. And I'm so excited for all of you. And I'm so excited for what's going to happen with the new moon. And don't let the retrograde, the Mercury in retrograde, scare you. That's going to happen this weekend. Into September. Don't let that scare you. Don't let that stop you. Don't use that as an excuse for not getting things done or not being who you are. Use that as an excuse to be catapulted into the fourth dimension of who you are and what you want and what you're willing to create despite that all of it. Create what it is that you want. Be what it is that you want. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for me. I have events coming. There are people in Los Angeles. I made a decision to work outside of Los Angeles because there's not a lot of things happening in LA. There's too many healers here. I think there's something going on. But I made a decision to work outside of LA, and I made a decision to start traveling. And I'll be in at the fall equinox in Sedona for the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. And you can go onto my Facebook page and see that. And I'm going to be leading the ceremony on Saturday, the 23rd at 2 o'clock in the afternoon in Sedona. And that's exciting for me. I can't wait. I can't wait. What is it for you that you're going to get excited about? Be excited about your life. Get excited about your life. Get excited about your soul. Be your soul. Be who and what you were always meant to be. Aho. My name is Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow, and this is the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show. And I want to thank you for coming, and I hope you have a blessed week. I'm looking forward to talking to you next week, and I want to hear from you, and I want to hear what you're doing to manifest your life and all the goodness and change that you want for yourself. I hope. Have a great afternoon, and see you then. Have a good day.
There is more to me, Queen Eliara of Elfgard, than my elven magic. Just as there's more to Geico than saving you money, Geico also gives you 24/7 access to licensed agents online, on the phone, or on the Geico app. And while I am a mighty elf queen, I am also a mighty big fan of barbecue potato chips. Minions! More smoky mesquite.
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.